Welcome to the Miniature Lettuce Farm. We are a hydroponic farm located in Fayetteville, North Carolina. We specialize in miniature varieties of lettuce and herbs. Let's talk about how I plant my seeds. I've got so many questions on how I start my seeds, and it really depends on what growing medium I'm using. That is actually rock wool. And I think I already have a video out about how I start seeds in rockwool, but they all really just start with you soak it for about 30 minutes to an hour in just regular water. You plant the seeds in there. Some people cover them with vermiculite, others don't. So it just kind of depends. But mainly now I'm using some type of Coco Coir. And these are Coco Coir pellets that I'm holding now. And I use those in whenever I'm planting in my vertical garden. And with those, I'm going to show you, we're going to go through the process of what I actually do when I'm using those. But I really like these because these are a biodegradable growing medium, and even if you're growing in dirt, you can use these. You plant, and once your seedling becomes big enough, about 2 to 3 inches, with a good root system, you can plant that directly in the ground. That thin film does not keep the roots from getting to be able to pass through that. The roots will pass through that will degrade, and you can plant that directly in the dirt once your seedlings get big. But here I'm just putting them in a plastic container I have sitting around the house. It's nothing special about that container. And then I just take boiling water. It's good to use boiling water because if there's any type of insect eggs or anything in there, parasites or anything like that, the boiling hot water will kill that off. And then you just see they expand. It's a really quick process. It does not take long at all for them to fully expand, and they hold that moisture, which is why I really, really like using these. And there was nothing really wrong with the Rockwool cubes. They're not made of biodegradable material, and they left my hands just really dry. And I just wanted to use, and I wasn't getting the best germination rate. I can honestly say, since I've started using these Coco Coir plugs, I have gotten much better germination rate. They busted open. Sometimes if they fill too quickly, they bust open like that. But that doesn't stop me from using them. I still use them to start my seeds in. They cool off really quickly. So you saw that they extended. They went from really thin to fully extended. And now it's really time to go ahead and plant in them. I plant in them just like this. So I actually, because the Coco Coir is hard in the inside, and even though you've got it to expand, to me it's still really hard, the material, the Coco Coir in the inside. So I just get something, and this is a tool that I used to use with my cricket, and I just kind of separate the Coco Coir a little bit, just to give it so it's not so hard, and you can really get the seeds in there and don't have to do a lot to them. I can tell you also one thing that increased my germination rate is not planting so deeply. A lot of times I realized afterwards that I was actually putting the seeds too deep. So now you see that I don't put my seeds that deep anymore, and I do separate the Coco Coir a little bit to make it where it's just not hard in there anymore. It's the same thing you would do with dirt and just kind of giving you a good planting area. So I do that to all four. And then this is just some tomato seeds that I'm planting. No, those are not tomatoes. Sorry, those are actually peppers. Those are pepper sweet seeds, like the bell peppers. I need to plant some more bell peppers, so I'm actually in this video. I'm planting bell peppers and a version of mini cabbage that I actually got from Johnny's, a variety of cabbage that I got from Johnny's. So these seeds came from Seeds Now. I really don't buy from Seeds Now anymore. I just wasn't getting the best germination rate from their seeds. So most, if not all of my seeds now do come from Johnny's. They're really good. You get your stuff quick. The germination rate is awesome, and their customer service is great also. So you see, those are the pepper seeds. I'm going to plant about two of those just to increase my just to make sure I get a germination. I always plant more than one, and it depends on the size of the seeds and how many you plant in each pellet. And depends on the size of the seeds and what you're planting. So somewhere on your seeds, it should tell you the really small seeds you can plant about 5 or 6, sometimes more in one thing, just to ensure germination. If you get more than you want, you can always trim it down, and thin your seedlings out and use it for another place, or you can throw it away. It just kind of depends on you. And you see here, I plant my seeds really shallow, and all I'm doing here is just covering the seeds with the Coco Coir. I just put the seeds on there and just lightly cover it with the Coco Coir, and then that's just me just taking some water from the faucet and putting a little bit of water on top, just to kind of moisturize the top and wet the seeds a little bit. And here I just saw the kind of the top of the seed a little bit. So I'm just making sure that the seed is completely covered. And then here are the miniature cabbage that I get from Johnny's. These are those seeds. They come in a package like this. That's the type, just in case anybody wants to order those seeds. I have pictures. I actually have pictures up on my Instagram of that cabbage, so you can go look at that. And I'm going to plant about 2 seeds here, just to make sure I get a germination. 2 seeds in each pod, just because of the size of them, and to make sure I get good germination. So I just put them on the top, give them a little space in between each other. So you don't want to put them right on each other, but you want to give them space in between each other. And then again, you're just going to lightly cover the seed with the Coco Coir. Just lightly cover it with the Coco Coir. You don't want to go too deep, or the seeds will mold or not get enough air and sunlight to be able to germinate. So I'm just lightly covering it. And then I'm going to do the same thing that I did with the last ones. Take a little bit of water from the faucet and put on the top of the Coco Coir just to wet the top, and to also wet the seeds a little bit. And I don't use a lot of water to do this because it's already saturated with water. So it's just a little bit of water that I take to do this. Now, once you've done this, your pods need to go in a warm area. So I have this little container that you see here, just sitting around the house. So I put them in here, and I put them on this heating pad. This heating pad stays on 24 hours a day. Right now, before they germinate, they do not need light, and I just check them daily. Now, this is about 2 days from when I first put them in there. Once you see they germinate and you see some leaves, they now need to go under light. So I put them under light, and then I start watering them. I have not watered them until this point. This is a half strength of my nutrient solution that I use. All of my seedlings get watered twice a day with half strength nutrients. If you have not seen my video on the nutrient solution that I use, I will have that linked in the description box below. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please make sure you subscribe and like this video. And also make sure you are following me on all of my other social media accounts. Link is in the description below.